I was in my early 40s when I came to the realization that my greatest accomplishments in life had resulted from taking on my biggest fears, aspirations, and challenges. That realization inspired me to reconsider becoming a writer, an old childhood aspiration that I had been too afraid to take on. I had kicked that aspiration to the curb long ago, believing that I had no aptitude or talent for it. At 42 years old, I realized that while learning to become a professional writer might be an extremely difficult goal to achieve, it wasn't impossible. To succeed, I would simply have to be willing to work harder than ever, educate myself, and learn everything, starting with all of the English fundamentals I'd failed to learn in school. In 2005, I convinced myself that with commitment, patience, and hard work, I could learn everything I needed to become a writer. But I feared that doing so might take too long. I wasn't a young man, and after all was said and done, I would be a lot older. Also, there was no guarantee that I would ever succeed. I also feared that my childhood dream was unrealistic and might have been spurred on by envy, as in my heart I was yearning to become as smart and talented as some of my gifted writing friends. Closing my eyes, I searched within myself for guidance. While meditating, a very interesting mystical vision appeared. It was actually identical to one I'd seen as a young boy. In a dimly lit concrete oubliette, I saw a cream-colored seed resting center stage on a square platform. I knew if I ignored it, closed the portal, and left, it would remain as it had all these years, completely unchanged. Reopening my eyes, I was definitely more interested in taking on this childhood aspiration. Yet I was a bit confused, as for many years I had thought I was supposed to be an artist. Now that I sensed that I was supposed to be a writer, I wondered if I had been mistaken, or if somehow I was supposed to be both. I also feared that if I took on writing, I would definitely be leaving art behind. I researched and compiled a list of everything I would need to learn and do to succeed. When I finished, and I saw that this was something that I could achieve, I decided to take it on. At the same time, I promised myself that I would never give up on trying to become a writer, no matter how difficult or long it took me to succeed. As I knew if I attempted to do this and failed, I would be seen as a failure for the rest of my life, not in other people's eyes, but in my own. Hitting the ground running, I began studying grammar, reading the kinds of books I was interested in writing, journaling, studying writing books, watching educational videos, and trying my hand at different kinds of writing, including screenwriting. As I had fully expected, this goal was the most challenging one I'd ever taken on. It seemed like becoming a writer might take forever, yet I never gave up. I also continued working the entire time to pay the bills. While I hoped for a day that I would not have to work so hard, I knew that day may never come, especially since I'd chosen to become a writer. Like becoming an artist, becoming a writer was a dream of passion that wasn't necessarily ever going to allow me to retire or make me rich. But I believe it was one of the best decisions I ever made. Becoming a writer was by far my most challenging goal ever, but it wasn't my greatest achievement. Mastering self-love was, because that changed my life forever. It led me to erase negative, self-sabotaging thinking and pushed me forward to achieve innumerable goals and other self-improvements. To learn about how I mastered self-love and more, watch my documentary, How to Love Yourself. If you've not already done so, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing this video with your friends.